Hi, good evening. My name is Dave Greene. I'm the author of The Missing Link and Movable Chords. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Tonight we're going to do a lesson out of the Movable Chords book. You can find it at createspace.com/Dave Greene. Green with an E at the end. Greene. A lot of people will do a search and they'll mistake me for a color instead of a person. Green with an E. Alright, tonight we're going to take a D chord, popular chord. It's very simple, easy. One of the first chords we learn as guitar players is our D chord. For you beginners, our first finger is going to go on the G string and the second fret. That note is A. Second finger is going to go on the second fret on the very bottom string, F sharp. Our ring finger is going to go on our D note, which is on the B string and the third fret. We play the four bottom strings. We have a D chord. Alright, so our root note for the D chord obviously is D. That would be the 1, right? Or the root note. So we're going to take this. Makes a chord shape of your fingers is the shape of a chord. We're going to keep this shape and we're going to move it, alright? And that's what a movable chord is, just like a bar chord. So we're going beyond bar chords. We're going to take this D and we're going to take our root note here, which is D, and we're going to move it up a whole step and we're going to make an E chord. Now we're just playing the bottom 3 strings. So we have an E. That's an E major chord. All the chords I'm showing you now are major. There's an E chord. Right, that's an E chord. D, half step up. We're just going to go from one fret up to the next. That's a half step. If we're going to skip a fret, we're going to do a whole step, which we did in this case. That's in D note. And a chord. We're going to move it up to an E note and an E chord. Half step up to F. Half step up to F sharp. Half step up to G. Half step up to G sharp, A flat. Half step up to A. Half step up to A sharp, B flat. Half step up to B. Half step up to C. And then finally we arrive again at D. You basically learned 12 chords out of one chord shape. Alright, now, let me give you something you can use. You can use that. This is a popular thing from a popular Zeppelin song. And those chords are G and A. E, D. Alright, so we're going to take that same D chord, we're going to move the third, which is F sharp. We're going to move that F sharp up to here. If you remember in the last lesson where we did fretboard memorization, we were using octaves. So we took something that we knew from, say, the top E string. If we learn those notes, we know that this is an F sharp. Our open note is E. If you just have it open E string on the top is E, and your string on the bottom is also E. Alright, so from E to F sharp is a whole step. We're going to skip F, and we're going to go to F sharp. We're going to skip a fret and a string from the last lesson, fretboard memorization, we're going to find the octave of F sharp. Here's F sharp, F sharp. Alright, so we're going to put this F sharp here. We're going to keep our D here. We move our fingers around a bit. We're going to put our first finger on the A. Instead of putting our second finger on the F sharp here, we're going to put it on the D here. We're going to put our ring finger up here on the F sharp. It might be a little bit of a stretch at first, but once you get comfortable with it, move your thumb around, pivot on the ball of your thumb, and move it around to where you're comfortable, and make sure that this is in line with your wrist so you're not screwing up your wrist. I like to put mine up here, or I can move it around down here, so I can get it all together. Alright, so our root note is still D in this chord, right? Because it's a D chord. D is the 1, D is the root. So what we're going to do, we're going to move that. We've moved it all a whole step up, and now we're still at the chord of E. D, E. Half step up to F. Half step up to F sharp. Half step up to G. G sharp, A flat. Half step up. Half step up to A. Half step up to A sharp, B flat. Half step up to B. Half step up to C. And finally we arrive again at D. No, that's C sharp. D flat. Half step up again to D. Here's our root note, D. So, that's a movable chord of D. It's a very popular chord. Very Doobie Brothers-ish. That's a G. And I'll give you a freebie, another freebie. Here's a D chord. D and G. I use that strumming pattern in a song of mine called Thank You for Loving Me. You haven't heard it yet. Alright, happy strumming, man. Thanks for tuning in. Be love, be blessed and peaceful. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.